Hello, my name is Jack Schenkenberger. I'm a Life Scout in Troop 110 and a senior in the Network Systems and Cybersecurity program here at Barberton High School and a senior at Norton High School. Let's begin. Today we have 3 learning objectives. Number 1 is to identify frequent identifiers in scam media. Number 2 is what to do when you receive scam media. And number 3 is what to do if it's too late. Our first of 8 frequent identifiers is a sense of urgency. Typically somebody is going to set a deadline for you to send them money or send them information, which is going to come with a threat, which goes into our second frequent identifier of this is offers that seem too good to be true. Winning something that you didn't sign up for or suddenly having a windfall. It could also be a threat, like threatening arrest, threatening to suspend your driver's license, threatening to suspend your vehicle's registration. Our next 2 frequent identifiers also go hand in hand. This is an untrustworthy sender and a questionable payment. Typically, an untrustworthy sender is somebody claiming to be someone who they're not, such as someone claiming to be the government. The government will never text you asking you for money. And a lot of the time, the untrustworthy sender sends an untrustworthy payment method, typically asking for you to click on a link to a sketchy website, send gift cards, mail cash. Now there's Bitcoin. There's a lot of new opportunities for these questionable payment methods. And they go hand in hand with your untrustworthy sender because it's someone claiming to be someone who they're not. And typically they're going to take you through unofficial channels to pay them. Our 5th and 6th identifiers don't go as hand in hand. The first one's requests for sensitive information, things like your SSN, your passwords, your login credentials, banking information, even things down to like your mother's maiden name or other security questions for your bank. This can be information that matters a lot for sign-ins and payment, and typically focuses more on banking, but it can also focus on things like creating a credit card or filing paperwork that may help somebody out with committing fraud later down the line. Our 6th here is poor grammar in English. Now, unfortunately, this one's slowly going away as people use more and more AI, but the one thing to look for now is inconsistencies, typically in their story and basic grammatical errors. So your inconsistencies may be something like somebody claiming that they're the government of Michigan, and then later on they claim that they're the government of Ohio. Even these little inconsistencies can be a dead giveaway that somebody's lying or trying to cheat you out of your money. Our 7th and 8th and final identifiers kind of go hand in hand, right? They're asking you to keep it quiet, keep it silent, keeping it under wraps, asking you not to tell your family or to withhold information from your family about a given conversation where you may have sent gift cards or sent money and crypto regarding any conversation you've had with somebody claiming to be an official point is not typically good. Our last one's emotional manipulation. It appeals to your emotions, typically empathy and nostalgia, although it could also be connected to memories, lack of understanding, sympathy, fear, anger. It could be connected to a lot of your emotions and typically is meant to put some skin in the game almost. Our first example is a text message I received on June 9th of 2025 from the Michigan State Department of Motor Vehicles. It is visible here on screen. It states that the Michigan State Department of Motor Vehicles is threatening penalties because of an outstanding traffic ticket in accordance with Michigan State Administrative Code 15C 16.003. If I do not complete payment by June 9th, they will take the following actions beginning on June 10th to suspend my driving privileges, transfer to a toll booth, and increase my fee, and I may be prosecuted and my credit score may be affected. You'll see a bmv.ohio gov sdi.vip/pay URL, and then a request to please pay immediately before enforcement to avoid license suspension and further legal disputes. So this contains several of our frequent identifiers here. To start, it's your questionable sender. You see your Thera 198700317 at DMVYI up at the top there. That is not an official channel. And like I said during our questionable sender statement, the government will never text you asking for money or sign-in credentials to your phone. Our second one here is a sense of urgency. It's saying that if you do not submit this money by this time, they will arrest you, right? That goes hand in hand with your threat of something too bad to be true. It contains 2 major inconsistencies. To start, it's your Michigan State Department of Motor Vehicles up the top, But then when you look at the link they're asking you to pay with, it's a bmv.ohio.gov sdi.vip/pay. So it's claiming to be the Michigan State Department of Motor Vehicles, but in reality, it's claiming to be Ohio. Neither are true. And with that link, there's your sketchy payment method. This is never follow a link to send money over to somebody. And typically, if you're looking to pay the federal government or state government, it's going to go bmv.ohio.gov. As you see here, it's ohio.gov sdi.vip. So that .vip means that somebody paid to look like the federal government. And then there's something too bad to be true, which is suspending your driving privileges, arresting you, transferring to a toll booth, and prosecuting you. Our second example, this is an email forwarded to me by another scout. This email is claiming to be deleting your Google Drive in the next hour if you don't take immediate action. I followed the link and did everything safely on my end to make sure I didn't get scammed or receive information or malware, and realized that it's a fake Google Drive with information trying to collect your Google account and other sign-in credentials for other accounts even. This contains, to start, a sense of urgency, right? It has that big, bold, time remaining, 59 minutes, 59 seconds, and big, bold, action required immediately, all caps, stop deletion now. It comes from an untrustworthy source. It comes from David90 at Random String of Letters, which is not Google, believe it or not. It comes from a questionable link. That stop deletion now takes you to a fake Google. It's not real. It takes you to a thing that says it's Google, but it's a whole bunch of outdated logos. It's questionable and sketchy. And then there's some of the emotional manipulation here. Like I said, it can appeal to your nostalgia too. So I don't know about you, but I keep a lot of images from my time on the scouting trail on my Google Drive. I keep a lot of assignments. I keep parts attached to this project. My Google Drive is very important to my day-to-day life. I use it a lot, so that creates a little bit of fear and threatens my nostalgia there. This image was found while I was looking for anything that may be a scam, so I started out looking for free lottery entries, particularly Mega Millions. On a website claiming to give me free Mega Millions entries, which is already a scam, because if you're entering a lottery for free, you're not entering a lottery, they're not giving you any money. I found this advertisement from Super 7 Sweeps. For $1 million cash, enter now, claim your free entry. So to start, this comes from an untrustworthy source. Super 7 Sweeps, I looked them up, I did my research here. They exist, but they don't actually send out any money. You enter, and then you don't actually receive any money when you win. Nobody wins. They contain a questionable link, that claim free entry there. Like I said, if anybody's offering you free money, they're lying to you. Don't take it. And an offer that's too good to be true. $1 million and you don't have to give them anything in return is a scam. They're trying to collect information and banking information, so that way then they can scam you and defraud you out of all of your money. Our fourth example here is a little different. This is more of an appeal to somebody who doesn't understand technology as well, right? You see that triangle and the 3 dots in the corner? That goes with your Google Ads, right? This is an advertisement. I found this on a website claiming to be providing you with free access to Yellowstone, the show. So watching something for free is typically a scam, but this installs malware onto your device. In this case, Wave Browser, which is just an adware, but that's its own issue. So if somebody's on a website looking for something that's already going to be sketchy or possibly malware, and they see a big blue open button, there's a very solid chance they're going to click on that thinking it's the download button and download something malicious. So this, to start, contains your questionable link because it's got that big blue button that's really kind of questionable. And it's emotional manipulation because not everybody knows that this is a scam. Not everybody knows as much about technology. So there are those people that are out there that think this might be the legitimate download button, click on it, and now they have malware. In this case, it just spams your computer with a ton of ads on their device, on your device. So now that you know how to identify it, what do you do next? To start, don't click anything. Don't give any personal information. Don't respond and block the sender. In cases where they come frequently, you can change your phone number, but that's kind of outdated. I'd advise that you filter them, which transfers us into our next point on how to filter your calls and texts. Apple and Android both have a setting where you can silence any caller who calls you that isn't in your contacts list. This, however, can cause problems because you may have doctors, businesses, relatives, or people that you may not have saved in your phone who need to call you. Thankfully, they can still leave a voicemail to get in touch with you, but you're going to miss that first call. Alternatively, several services exist which will do similar functions with more advanced filtering by searching numbers, place of origin, etc., and block most instances of scam calling or texting. However, those may be less accurate. I'm not going to recommend any. I'm not an advertisement, but they are less accurate. So here's a breakdown of how to block unknown numbers. On iPhone, you go to Settings, Apps, Phone, Screen Unknown Callers, and then I recommend Ask Reason for Calling, as it may be best for your personal use case. It'll still ring through, but it'll ask somebody what they're calling about before you answer. On Android, you go Call Settings, go into your Block Numbers, block calls from unknown numbers. This, however, has that problem that I talked about on the last slide, where maybe you have a doctor trying to call you, or a business, or your family, or a payphone, or any number of things that may be trying to call you for one reason or another that are legitimate, but it's still being blocked because your phone doesn't know the difference between a scammer and an unknown number. What to do if it's too late? It happens. No prevention's perfect, but it isn't too late to do something. If you sent money, contact your local police and explain your situation. They'll help you further. If you shared banking info, contact your bank, freeze accounts, and then ask them what to do the next. If you shared passwords, change them and any similar ones you have for other accounts. I don't know about you, but I personally use about the same password for everything. If one of those get leaked, it's a very real possibility that the rest may be compromised now too. If you shared your social security number, reach out to the Social Security Administration. They have really good resources to help you in that situation. So some good resources here are both from the federal government. Identitytheft.gov helps you report identity theft and provides you with a lot of resources that can help you identify it better and protect yourself. ssa.gov/fraud also helps to report identity theft and contains even more information on how to protect yourself. I'd like to thank Magic City Kiwanis for helping make my project a reality. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to start this project in the first place. It's a lot of help. I'd like to thank Barberton High School. Not only did they provide me with a space, but they also gave me a lot of training on the subject matter with that network systems and cybersecurity program over at Barberton High School. And lastly, I'd like to thank Pedal Stomper Productions and all donors that helped me to pay them for supporting me in my ability to record and spread my message.